Now, I'm a little bit different from some of these fellows, like Leo back here, and some of the fellows that tell stories, because the stories that I tell are 100% true. Some of them are as much as 140% true. In 1926, at a rodeo down in Florence, Arizona, a young Oregon cowboy by the name of Shurtleff Fisher come out to shoot some big old gelding they called bushwhack. That horse was a pretty bad horse, and bucked out across the arena, and I don't know whether he somersaulted or reared up and come over backwards, but he come down on that cowboy and mashed him into the dirt and very well killed him. The scene was so tragic and gruesome that a cowboy in the stands by the name of Cheatham wrote a poem about it, made a song out of it, and started performing that song. Well, more than 20 years later, in 1947, Tex Ritter, anybody remember who Tex Ritter was? A couple of you, some of you. He was quite a star in his time, cowboy star. Yeah, Tex Ritter picked that song up and started performing that song. I'd like to do that song for you. There was blood on the sand and blood on the ground and a great big oh, that's the way Tex did it. Cowboy, they get it, all covered in gold, and we never will ride any broncos no more. So remember that cowboy, all bloody and red, his bronco fell on him and bashed in his head. When I was down in Utah, this was 1981, and I had this book by Dorothy Horstman called Sing Your Heart Out, Country Boy, and it has the stories of how these songs came to be. And so when I learned that Shurtleff Fisher was the cowboy that bucked off and his horse come over, won him and killed him, it kind of caught my attention, because I knew that one of my daddy's good cowboy ranching buddies up in Baker Valley, Oregon, was named Shurtleff Fisher. Well, we logged and we ranched alongside of the Fishers there, up Rock Creek and Muddy Creek, for all my life when I was a youngster. So I wrote home to Daddy and I said, Dad, next time you see Shurtleff Fisher in the old Circle H Tavern there in Haines, Oregon, would you ask him if maybe he ever did any rodeo in Arizona when he was a young man? You guessed it. Shurtleff said, oh yes, a horse come over on me, hurt me pretty bad. He said there was a lot of blood and it was all mine. He said that horse broke me in a lot of broken bones. There was 13 breaks in my skull alone. They thought I was dead. They left me laying there in the arena for 20 minutes. Well, the meat wagon finally got there after 20 minutes or so. Gathered all the love, hauled him into the hospital, and they took one look at him, and lo and behold, Shurtleff recovered consciousness. And the doctor, they were kind of surprised, but they started putting the pieces back where they were supposed to be and fixing what they could. One of the doctors, he said, cowboy, he said, you know you're never going to walk again. And that was kind of funny, because that day in 1981, he was kind of getting around, Circle H Tavern, because he fell off a 2-year-old he'd been working on. It wouldn't allow the horse ever bucked, so he just fell off. Well, the folks in the arena never knew the cowboy survived. Shurtleff never knew the song was about him. So what could I do? I had to write the rest of the story. All the cowboys watching, their hearts filled with dread. They all were certain for Shurtleff was dead. But 15 years later, he's more than 80 years old. He's still getting around, 'cause he's just been thrown You cannot imagine, you couldn't dream